What's going on, Vigo's Court? I'm your judge, Judge Vader, and I am joined by Counselor Shep. And guess what? It's playoffs time.
It is indeed playoffs time. I hope you guys are ready for a fantastic game today. We are going to watch Six versus DeathWish, two teams who have performed very strongly, even with a late start. DeathWish managed to come in taking on a not so great record and have fought their way all the way to playoffs. So this is going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah, I think for sure it is going to be a very, very interesting game. And honestly, I don't know who to pick here, because definitely I don't know if you guys had caught the first wild card game between Arctic Wolves and Demise, but I thought Arctic Wolves was going to pull that out. And then it very much went a different way, right? So I don't know what to expect here, really.
I think if these teams have proved anything to us, even just in our game yesterday, it's that everyone deserves to be here and there are no safe bets to make.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like Six has a chance to go ahead and try to get an early lead here, but I think that DeathWish is going to have the upper hand in this one. I think I'm taking DeathWish in this game.
Well, I'm more than happy to play opposite you there and cheer on Six because they've been pretty strong this season. So we'll just see what happens.
That's definitely that's fair. Also, I'm wondering what's going on in the chat there a little bit, but yeah, definitely.
Killer before this.
Oh yeah. Oh jeez. My goodness. But yeah, definitely we'll be ready to get started with some competitive Dead by Daylight. So hey, Chief Smoke a Bong, please. Hey, watch some competitive Dead by Daylight, and welcome to the Wendy's. I definitely think that this is gonna be fun because I see Osaka being our killer. So I'm gonna go ahead and invite Joy King, but I can't because he's in match currently. So we'll be waiting a little bit here while we try to get our survivors into the lobby. Right now they're currently still in a match.
They might be finishing up warm-ups or something. So
I'm sure
while we're waiting for them to mosey on in, let's talk about the fact that Nurse has had the kill switch activated on her. She's of course been having problems for quite some time now. However, with this bug where if she gets a grab cancel, she just gets frozen for the entirety, like the entire rest of the game, the devs were finally like, all right, we gotta, like, this is unfair and unplayable. So not only is Nurse not allowed in most comp scenes to begin with, she is now just entirely disabled from the game, which kind of crazy considering we're going into our finals. Of course, our finals, like our very final game, will be next weekend, so hopefully they can get her fixed before then. But if they don't, what do you think we're gonna see this weekend?
Well, I think in this wild card, right, we're not going to be seeing the S tiers come out because, of course, if you use your S tiers here, then you can't use them next week versus Monarchy. So I don't think that you see the S tiers, but at the same time, didn't we see a Blight come out yesterday?
We did see a Blight yesterday. Demise, who I think everyone kind of thought were the underdogs, brought out a Blight with Adrenaline Vial of all things and had a fantastic performance against Arctic Wolves, which I really think set them up for the entire rest of the game because that was our first trial of the matchup. So, I mean, we could still see a Blight here. I don't know if I know they've reset for playoffs. I don't know if they'll reset once again for finals. I don't think they do.
They do reset again for finals, but they don't reset between like, so like these teams that are in wild card right now, when they play in semifinals, the one usage only during playoffs is still here. So like use Blight. Well, now you can't use Blight next week. Interesting, right? Like kind of crazy. If you end up using, well, now in reverse, the other team, which in this case is Demise, they can go ahead and use Blight, and because right in the finals they can turn around and use Blight again. Like, who cares, right? So for sure, I think it's it'll be interesting to see how that goes next week. Definitely, we know Demise. They have a really good friendship between the two teams, right? Like most of them are all friends. Like most of them came from like the same team, things like that, and split off into two teams. So they're. It'll be a good one. It'll be fun to watch for sure. We do only have 3 out of 4 of our survivors, so we're still waiting for one more survivor here, but shouldn't be too long before we get started.
I wonder if we see Osaka pull out a Blight here, knowing that this is kind of the first step that they have to take into making it towards finals. Because after this, they still have to play one other game if they make it past this point.
Yeah, they have to play Monarchy, and who do you think's harder, Monarchy or Six? I mean, I guess that's kind of your, like, you know, that's what's tough, really, isn't it?
And I don't know. I would have to look at the schedule again. I don't remember if we've seen these teams face off before prior in the season. We had seen Arctic Wolves and Demise face off previously in week 5. So it was kind of interesting to see the paradigm shift in how those games went. So I don't know if we've seen any of these teams face off previously in our regular season, but it'll be very interesting if they have, to see what's changed, what's happened since then.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be fun to see. Of course, it looks like we now see one of our survivors, unfortunately, may have dropped, joining back in though. So hopefully we see all of our survivors come in here soon. I know we are kind of waiting on the survivors here. We're getting close to that time where sometimes like we could see like a penalty for delay of game. So I definitely want to see if they can get set up here real soon. But let's go ahead and review what map we're going to real quick. Of course, we will be going to Torment Creek. Cold Wind Farm, 10,752 square meters, a 7-hook minimum and a 12-hook maximum. This is the map for 6, and this is a tough map for some killers to play on.
Yeah, this is definitely I don't think this is anyone's favorite map to play on by a long shot. So it'll be interesting to see how our teams have prepared for, I mean, of course, it's a cold wind map, lots of corn, not the most fun for any killer, but there's also not a ton of resources for our survivors to use. You have a lot of just like dead spaces or really weird pallets in between some hay bales that aren't really the safest. So kind of a dangerous map for both sides. And then, of course, you've got that main building that's just kind of weird.
Yeah. I would say that main building is definitely that's a tougher one to take chase around, especially because you got to make sure you break those doors, or the door if they get that like God window loop there. It can make it really difficult on a killer. But up around the main building, there are a couple dead zones up there. So I mean, it's not the worst as long as you can keep them out of looping main. So it'll be interesting to see how they play it. For sure, we have all 4 survivors in here now. I don't know that they're set yet, so we're still waiting on that, but should be happening here shortly, real shortly.
You'd hope by at this point, our teams might have some idea of what they are wanting to run. Seeing as nothing's really changed since the beginning of season, but maybe they're trying some new and exciting things. Well, you know, maybe now's the time to go big or go home. This could be the place where you see something really risky. Definitely have seen like some really crazy perks used in other playoffs before, so
Head on gamer?
Head on gaming. I saw For the People plays earlier. It was very interesting.
Honestly, I'm a fan of For the People.
I love For the People.
What about Metal and Man Breakout? I know that you are also a connoisseur like myself and liking the For the People breakout, or not wow. Metal and Man Breakout. I totally know how to speak, sorry.
Yeah, I would love to see, that would be spicy. That would certainly be spicy. And it would be a very aggressive play style, which actually I'm pretty sure 6 knows how to play aggressively. So if anyone's going to do it, I wouldn't be surprised if it was that.
If you're talking about aggressive survivors, you've come to the right place, because 6 knows how to do that to perfection. You know, this is me wishing something in for the future, but I want to go ahead and put it out there and see if I can get some reactions from chat. So Intimidator, I see you out there, buddy. Let me know if you think this is a good idea. I'm about to holler at you, okay? So I think it would be really cool, because I don't know if you guys have seen in our rule videos, if you're paying attention to what's happening in the background, those are highlights from some of our games. I think it would be amazing if we had, like, especially for the championship, if we can get some highlight reels of each team that we can like show, like, oh yeah, they've been doing this thing. I think that would be super cool. It might make us more like ESPN, and maybe that's not the vibe we're going for, but I like that. So I'm just putting it out there.
Please, I would love to put out into the universe that we get some fantastic clips out of this game so that I can do the YouTube.
100%. Yes, that was 100% my call also, for you guys to, you know, hey, keep that clip button right there, like clip it while it's happening, because as you know, unless you're subscribed, you can't go back and watch the VODs. But please subscribe, because it does help us out, please. But for sure, like if you see something crazy happen, which with both these teams, you know it's gonna happen. So please clip that, keep that clip button right there as if it was a hotkey. Make Shep's job easier. We all love Shep. We want Shep to have an easier job. Let's
love you guys forever.
Let's make it happen. You know, just go ahead and the clip button, keep your finger over it, and anytime you need to hit it, hit that. All right.
Checking all of our offerings, we do have all 4 bloody blueprints as well as our cut coins. So Vader, how about we talk about what our killer is trying to do here to earn some points and take a lead?
You know, every once in a while I forget what they're supposed to be doing or what I'm supposed to be saying, but I actually remember this time. The killer's supposed to get hooks. That's what we do in this game. And you'll notice they're backloaded hooks, so 3 points for that death hook. Progressions are worth 1 less, but if you do get a 7th and 8th progression, then you will get 1 point each there. If you do manage to get the 4K, you will get 2 additional points, and if you can get an entity kill, such as the endgame collapse, it would be the corresponding hook plus the progressions. A bleed out, of course, would award you 0 points, and a Mori would only give you the corresponding hook, but hey, that's 30 points available to our killer. Let's go ahead and go into this match.
For more on rules, please make sure you guys check out !rules rules in chat. And very interesting, we are going to see Osaka pulling out Plague for our first trial of the day. I think this is I don't know if our play game yesterday was any sort of maybe foreboding, but I think this is a very interesting pick for Osaka to come out with. Maybe a safer pick than some other things, considering how strong Plague has been throughout our entire season. I just don't know if this is the strongest pick here.
I think it is strong versus a team like 6. And the reason I'll say that is because they have been one to reset quickly. How do you get rid of resets? Well, you bring Plague, because healing perks are worthless. And then they also really like to body block because they reset quick. Well, they're probably going to be less likely to body block because, again, you can't reset.
That's a very fair point. However, it's not going to matter much if Osaka can't hit anyone with that Vile Purge, or with his puke power.
You were right. Vile Purge was correct.
There we go.
But
I always question myself.
Nah, you're good.
But Osaka going ahead, he had kind of started chase around Shack a little bit, got rid of that Shack pallet very early, so it's not going to be really a resource for our survivors here. But otherwise, Osaka going ahead and kind of just setting up, puking on his uncorrupt generators. We are going to pick up chase here, start trying to get some infection landed. Having a little bit of trouble there with Joy King around the short loop, but he does eventually catch him. However, that will be a plus 10 wood to the face by Joy King there to Osaka. And he's going to take the time to get the hell out of the area. And Osaka's going to break off chase to kick this gen here.
You know what's crazy though? I just so our Plague didn't elect to like puke on the pallet at all, but there's a lot of infection rate you can get from somebody interacting with like something that's been puked on, right? So I think that was a missed opportunity by Osaka for sure, and that could affect part of the outcome of this game, right?
I definitely think so. If Osaka isn't aggressive enough with how he applies his vomit, he's not gonna see what makes Plague so strong, which is the ability to just break people through their interactions with the things they're going to have to interact with. We do see a pickup of our power here, but Osaka unable to really find it. When we had seen someone kind of down by where we picked up our power, didn't really pick up chase with them.
Yeah.
And our survivors are doing a really good job of kind of hiding this out.
Yeah, they are. This is like just textbook play versus a Plague. So good. Did you ever notice though, when Plague's whispering, it almost sounds like she says Osaka somewhere in there, if you listen closely.
It was meant to be.
Yeah, it totally was meant to be. But hey, do you remember last weekend where Osaka said he wasn't playing Plague anymore?
And then he comes out and plays Plague again. I mean, this might have been the best pick for them. I think this is a very safe pick. Especially considering that if they go on from this match, they are going to have to play 2 more killers. So this is a good, safe pick. Plague can be very effective if used correctly. However, Osaka, again, having trouble finding anyone, really. Like, our survivors have waited out his entire corrupt purge. So, a little rough.
Definitely rough. Especially because, like, nobody else was infected. Now we've, of course, got one other person infected. But the thing you got to worry about, right, is, like, you consumed a corrupt pool, but you don't have any more, really, because, like, nobody was infected. So you weren't making people have to go cleanse.
Yeah, the early pick of a power there, I think might have hurt Osaka because he did not have any infection rate to spread. So that's kind of it until he can force. Ooh, nice tap off the end there.
No dumb tech here.
Over that pallet in a way, yeah. It's gonna be interesting. Hopefully Osaka can get a down here. Of course, our corrupt intervention is gone. And now that we have 2 injured survivors, that the Natophobia is going to be working in his favor. But we will still, regardless of that slowdown, see a second generator pop as Osaka takes chase back in this back corner.
Yeah, and definitely our survivor calling exactly how Osaka was going to run that, which was perfect, knowing exactly when to drop it. I feel like we've seen some killers do that hesitation right there where they don't actually walk or anything. And I feel like it works out because then the survivor ends up dropping and not realizing that the killer actually didn't move, and then they're in bad position. But our survivor played that well until going down.
Unfortunately, the concussion to Osaka will not be enough to save our survivor. So this will be our first hook. However, we have 3 generators done, only 2 left on the map, and this is only our first stage. So Osaka's really going to want to start picking up our power here. He's really going to want to start looking for more downs, a more effective use of his power than the last time he was able to pick it up.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be very interesting. It's kind of tough. You're not going to be able to put any Vile Purge down, consuming these powers here. I mean, of course, we are seeing somebody. Oh my lord! You know, maybe I should just let
Okay,
Osaka do what
Osaka.
Osaka does, because that
Okay,
was
Osaka.
crazy.
Maybe a little bit of a rough start there, but that was a beautiful shot using our power there for Osaka. We do see that save coming across the way, but there is no pallet here. There is no other survivors around, so that will be a pickup, and this
Oh
could
no.
be this will definitely be a basement hook.
Mm-hmm.
Osaka can definitely make it down there, and this could be dangerous.
And yeah, I mean, you know, Joy King didn't get a save, so you know that Joy King doesn't have deliverance to fall back on. This is that's huge. Oh man, just renewing our power. Oh man. And are we gonna sit near the shack here? I mean, our 3-gen's opposite side. I feel like you've got to go over there. It's good that we're moving that direction now.
Yeah, Osaka's definitely gonna want to look to pressure these gens over here. We do hear maybe a Miss Glitchick?
I
Vault?
think that was a vault. Yeah, it was a vault.
Okay, it was a vault. The fast vault here giving somebody's position away, and Osaka does still
Oh,
have that power, so if he can get another really beautiful shot here, this will be another survivor down in the basement potentially. It's gonna be really dangerous, and that's the dead hard to avoid that corrupt purge, but it's not going to be quite enough to get our survivor out of a sticky situation. And again, going down so close to the basement, not surprised to kind of see Osaka a hook out here, but I think that could have been a ton of pressure if he could have made it down in there.
yeah, but at the same time, I mean, while we were in that chase, I mean, Joy King was able to get saved and get out of there, and there's only 1 gen left. So, I mean, we've only got 3 hook states, and I mean, if you're a survivor, I think you're still feeling like you're sitting pretty.
Yeah, this is definitely not a bad position to be in if you are our survivor squad here. However, Osaka's going to go ahead and replenish that power, and we do have an injured survivor in the area. So, oof, trying to get through that window, not quite making it. Hopefully our survivor here can buy enough time for their teammates to slam out that last generator and maybe get the unhook. We do see some cleanses coming in, which tells me they're probably going to be getting ready to set up for a save here very shortly.
Do you think that this is our adrenaline user, though? Oh, well, it wouldn't have mattered. They're broken. What am I saying? No!
Oh, that's so unfortunate. The setup was beautiful with a little wave. Our survivor got downed, but Osaka had to pick up right underneath a pallet, and they were able to get the pallet save, and that actually also knocks her out of her power, so they don't have
What?
to worry about getting one tap there.
That is like, that is such a good play. No Way Out, of course, has also been procced, so like, you're right now you're sitting so pretty right now if you're a survivor. You're like, okay, yeah, sure, we're giving up a second hook on this survivor, but are we really that worried about that right now? I
That will
mean,
be a first hook on Rizu there. That will be a fresh hook for him. And even though we did have that no way out, it's already gone. We will see Osaka pick up power, but with Rizu being on first hook, our survivors could definitely wait this out and still get a 4 out here. They might give up a hook state, but that's still not a bad position to be sitting in as you get so many points for that 4th escape.
I don't know that you take that risk though, personally.
I don't think they need to, but also this is playoffs. I mean, this isn't even just taking the 3 out would still be a really strong start. And it does look like they are going to leave Rizu behind. Go ahead and take that 3 out. I mean, that's still extra points for that 4th escape. Somebody who got out of this trial was not hooked at all. That is a phenomenal start for our survivors here.
Oh yeah, it was for sure a very, very good start for 6. And you know what? I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I did say that I thought 6 was gonna come in with an early lead, as I knew they played Survivor first. But you know, now Six has to come in and play killer, and versus DeathWish, I don't know. It's not that big of a lead, and I think DeathWish can pull it back. So, well, it's going to be a lot of pressure on Six's killer, which has traditionally not been as good as their survivor play.
Yeah, I definitely think, I mean, it's still definitely too early to be calling this by any means. So it'll be interesting. Six has struggled on the killer side before, so it'll be interesting to see what they are going to try to do here to keep not the strongest lead I've ever seen in a game before.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be interesting to see how they play it, but I think that they're gonna have to come out strong. But you know what? I think they could come out with the plague as well, and I feel like Washed is a very capable plague. So it could be interesting to see if they go plague for plague here, kind of mirror match it up, you know.
I mean, if that's the safe bet for Washed, I wouldn't blame him for taking it. Again, play gives you so much information, and you can get a lot of pressure built up if you play her right, but it's gonna be interesting for sure to see what happens.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it'll be interesting. I think it's gonna be exciting to see DeathWish in and just see if they do try to take body blocks or anything, depending on the killer. I think because they have been really good at taking body blocks, really good at dropping pallets early. I mean, they play textbook, like just so safe. They're such safe players. I think bringing plague, maybe you get them to go ahead and snowball a bit, but it would be difficult. Really, whoever you bring is going to be difficult, but I don't know. Definitely, I'm not in Wash's seat right now, and I'm kind of glad I'm not trying to figure out who I would bring. Right?
I definitely don't envy Washed in this situation. Six's or not Six's Survivor Squad. Their Survivor Squad is also very good, but DeathWish's Survivor Squad, they're also very, very skilled, so this is going to be a tough match up, and I don't know, it could get kind of iffy there. I think this is kind of the game that sets the pace for what happens in the second half of our matchup today.
I would agree. This is what's going to tell us how the rest of this is going, because of course Six has already said, "Hey, we can take Osaka as killer. We got this." But can DeathWish go ahead and return and go, "Oh yeah, we got this"? I'm excited because I think this is going to be a close match all the way through. I do have confirmation though we are able to switch, so we can go ahead and get ready to start this match. Honestly, Plague would be a good choice. I think not Huntress, but Nemi might be an okay pick on this map. Okay at best. I think the zombies give you a lot of information similar to Plague, but there's a lot of obstacles. Those zombies tend to get stuck on maps that have lots and lots of obstacles. So
yeah. It's so hard to try to predict what's going to be brought out here, just because, I mean, it is playoffs, you know, they're going to want to put their best foot forward, but also they have to kind of tread the balance of, well, we only get one use left, and there is another game that they're going to have to play tomorrow if they can make it to finals, or if they want to make it to finals, they do have to play again tomorrow, whoever wins here, and then whatever they've consumed today, they will not have access to tomorrow, so you kind of have to play around that, which I think is what makes this even more difficult.
So what about Pyramid Head? What do you think about Pyramid Head?
I think Pyramid Head is a strong choice if you have a good Pyramid Head. You have to be able to land those M2s though, because you can't, otherwise what are you going to do, walk everyone down? Hope you get a cage off? Like, you have to have a strong Pyramid Head, I think, to make it worth it, which I mean can go for any killer, right? But some killers are a little more forgiving than others.
You know, that's fair. I think the thing that Pyramid Head does really, really well is anytime you start going towards a pallet, right? I mean, we saw Sadalist do this for Remedy. Go ahead and you put down power. You're dragging your spaghetti through, and you stop halfway through the pallet just to where you body block it, right? If the survivor starts like coming back as if they're going to try to stun you. Otherwise, what you're doing is you're dragging through as if you're going to come. As soon as they start coming back, you hit them with the M2, right? There are ways to almost guarantee it, and I think Washed knows those for sure. I've seen Wash play Pyramid Head. It would be a good pick, I feel. So it'll be interesting to see what he elects to bring. And this is all I'm trying to think of. Who are you okay burning this week to save like your S tier for next week, right?
Tomorrow.
And I don't think you would bring a Spirit or a Blight right now.
No, I think, I mean, again, they still have one whole other killer match after this to go through, so I don't think this is where we see Spirit or Blight, especially considering we only have one use of each until we reset for finals, whoever makes it that far. So I don't think Pyramid is a bad choice, but you also have to assume that even if Wash does play a really good Pyramid Head, our survivors are probably going to know how to play against that, so it's probably going to be harder to force them into those scenarios. But we'll just have to see what happens. We do have all 4 of our offerings, so let's talk about what our survivors are trying to do here to try and take back this lead.
I will agree. Definitely our survivors will be looking to finish those gens. That is the first objective on the agenda today. As you guys will notice, the 5th gen is worth the most amount of points for the gens, but that unlocks the 2nd objective, getting those escapes. As you'll notice here, the 3rd and 4th escape are worth a whopping 10 points, and actually out of the 26 point total for the survivors, 17 of those points come via the way of escapes. Definitely we are going right into the match, so if you want more information on these rules, use !rules in the chat, and we do have Washed on the Plague.
We are going to see another exciting Plague match, Plague for Plague, and I'm going to be curious to see if Wash kind of changes up the playstyle from what we saw from Osaka there. We do, of course, see that Corrupt intervention. Not the most terrible Corrupt I've ever seen. This is actually pretty friendly for this map. So, and I mean, Wash able to pick up Chase really quickly here at Country, going ahead and starting that infected status on Shawarma here.
Definitely, that was really good. Because Shawarma double backed right into you, you're able to get a lot of infection onto Shawarma. We're just leaving them sick and maybe hoping they cleanse. I don't know. It looks like we're coming over here to maybe set our web on opposite side of Corrupt.
It is early enough that I'm sure Wash can afford to kind of try to get this sickness spread around. And also patrolling these gens, he's going to find more survivors to put that infected status down on. So I don't think too bad of a choice. Of course, we do see Shawarma there going into the broken status already. So that will see Thanatophobia already doing some work for Washed here in the beginning of our game to slow down that gen progress.
Oh yeah, Thana ×2. We've got 2 broken survivors. We've gone ahead and now we're taking out Shack Pallet as well. That was a really good drop by our Adam to not go down in the basement, but for sure we do see Deadlock come up as well.
We did see Deadlock last game, and I'm not surprised to see it come up this game. It does look like the name of this match is Slow Down, so Wash is going to take all of the time he can get. Unfortunately, going to take that pallet to the face as well. But that will extend this chase just a little bit longer. Dark buying some time for his teammates to go ahead and put some more work down on these generators so that hopefully this deadlock isn't so devastating to them.
Yeah, this is for sure a very, very good good start for DeathWish, but also, I mean, It's not a bad start for Wash by any means. We, of course, do see... Oh, I don't think you hit any of that. Nope, unfortunately not.
Was able to get that first hit on Osaka there, but unable to land the down. However, that is 3 survivors injured now, so Thanatophobia is having a field day with our gen progress right now. And a good read on Wash to try to get that long range shot there. Unfortunately, it won't land here either, but he has another survivor. This is going to be Dark, who is already injured, so, you know, just one really well-placed shot, and this will be our first down of the game if Wash can manage it.
You know, this is the same pacing, though, that Osaka had. We're seeing these teams play really, really good Survivor games. It's going to be tough. The first down coming after 2 gens are done. This is the same pacing.
Yeah, we're pretty much seeing a mirror of our last match. Of course, Wash not being as aggressive, we didn't see him pick up his Corrupt Purge until well after the first gen had been finished. So he's kind of got a little bit more setup here. We do have 2 other injured survivors, not including our one on hook. And going ahead and puking on these generators is going to give him a lot of information on where Shrimp might be, but we will see another really quick pickup of our power here.
Yeah, that only leaves, what, 1 pool left on the map? I think, I don't know about that one. I feel like you could have left that where it was, and maybe it would have helped you later on. But maybe I'm wrong.
Potentially, but also we've already got 3 survivors infected. They are going to have to purge at some point, which will allow Washed more access to his power later on. And we're already 3 generators in. He's going to want all the pressure he can manage right now. So, you know, you could always save that power for later, but if there's no later to use it in...
You know, what's crazy, though, is we're seeing 2 different types of uses of Plague, as well as 2 different types of counters to Plague, right? 6 was cleansing quickly to go ahead and let Osaka keep pulling power and not be able to get them infected, right? And DeathWish's response is more, I'm going to try to not give you power and make you M1 me. I think the problem that they'll notice, and what Washed is doing great, is Washed is going ahead and consuming all the resources on this side of the map and then zoning Chase over here, which is exactly what you want to see from the killer side to try to get more of those downs, and this might be basement.
I think this is definitely going to be a basement hook, a very nice down for Washed using our power here. And, I mean... not so bad. Pretty similar actually to how our last match went, really. Of course, Thanatophobia is not going to do quite enough to prevent that last gen from being popped, even with all 4 survivors injured. And we do see the no way out proc. Of course, we only have 2 stacks of that, so it's only a little bit of time for Washed here, but that is enough time. All of our survivors are injured. He just has to hit them once.
This is where you want to see them cleanse, but of course, not having the opportunity to, this may spell disaster. Oh, shoot, you still have a pallet here. Oh, man. Because Chase was kept on the other side for so long, you're actually fine here because you have the resources still available. If our Plague does... Oh, shoot. I guess we tried to mind game it.
That's really unfortunate that didn't work. Washed has a ton of pressure here if he can snowball off of this. Everyone is, like you said, they haven't cleansed. Everyone is still injured here. Oh, there we go. Caster's Curse. We do see her first cleanse coming through. And I mean, maybe this was a calculated move on our survivors' part, because at this point, I don't think they'll be quite forcing Plague's power. If they all cleanse now to try and get this on a hook and try to get a 4 out.
Also, what do you want to bet Osaka's our deli? Oh, man.
Uh-oh. This could get ugly here.
Osaka's going for the other door. That's balanced landing. Maybe not going for the other door. Oh, no, Adam. Oh, no, you're close to going all the way into full infection too, Adam. I don't know if you want to try to play this body block game. Where's Claudette? Bring Claudette in. Ooh, cue Claudette, and here she comes.
I think that might have been a misplay. I think we could have forced that infect or that broken status by puking on Adam there. If he was gonna body block, punish him for it, but Wash just didn't. So that is going to be a 4 out for DeathWish against Wash's Plague.
That is insane. That goes ahead and swings it completely. DeathWish has an 11-point lead now. That's huge.
That was a very intense end game there. I think there was a lot of pressure loss and a little bit of mismanagement of our power there. Definitely probably could have gotten another hook state at the very least on Adam there if we had gone ahead and puked on him. But the opportunity was not taken, especially when we were closer to that main building. So just goes to show simple mistakes can lose you all of the pressure you might have built up until this point, because there was a lot of potential there for Wash to kind of go nuts.
For sure. There was a bunch of potential, and like you said, some missed opportunities, but like, give credit to these survivors too, going ahead, and I mean, a couple of those moves were calculated, right? So for sure, Washed going ahead and having chase with Osaka getting up on the hook, being fresh hook, that's calculated. You went ahead and you made sure that nobody was getting really a second hook. I think only one person was a second hook. Everybody else was fresh.
And even though I think the first hook is worth more points, you still get to kind of offset that a little bit by getting those extra points, not only just for escaping with the extra hook states, but you also get everybody out of the trial. You kind of prevent that situation where, well, we're all sickened, we're all injured, somebody could just get downed and killed out of the trial here. So very good management of their hook states here, which is a thing we've seen a lot of teams struggle with throughout our entire season. So it's nice to see such calculated thought put into how they are managing their hook states here.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, like you said, like our hooks are actually backloaded here, where the first hook is not worth as many points. It's the last hook that's worth more. So getting that first hook on somebody, you scored 2 points. Good job. Good job. It's not the 3 points you would have scored if it was the final hook, but if it was somebody that maybe was second hook, or then you've at least scored 4 points off of that survivor, right? Instead, it's a fresh hook survivor. You've only scored 2, and I mean, you could look at it this way too. If you get a second hook on somebody, you're actually not allowing them to get that little point for escaping with 2 or more hook states remaining. So it's almost like scoring 3 points when you get the second hook as well, because you're preventing the survivors from being able to score that 1 extra point.
Yeah,
so
there is that point serve there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you also have to consider, if you get all 4 out, as we just saw, and everyone has 1 or less hook states, you pretty much make up for losing 2 people's fresh hooks almost entirely.
Yeah.
And that's not even considering all of the extra points. You get 10 whole points for your 3rd and 4th survivor getting out. That's massive. So
you're telling me that's huge. It's so huge.
Take differential there.
100%. And like we're saying, that was also only one person having 2 hook states. So I mean, for the escapes, let's see, they got 1 point for the first one, 2 for the second. They got so they're up to 3. They get 3 bonus points, so they're at 6, and then they get the 10 for the 3rd and 4th escape. They scored 16 out of 17 available escape points.
For escape alone, yes.
And of course, they scored all the points for the gens. So you do realize that means they scored 25 out of 26 available points for survivors. They almost had a perfect survivor game.
You don't see those very often here in Bigo's court. Definitely, DeathWish has shown they are not playing around here. They are taking this very seriously. So it's going to be interesting to see how this 3rd trial goes, with Washed once again playing killer for us.
It definitely will be interesting. Now the pressure is on Washed, because I mean, if you don't bring it back right here, it's gonna be real tough, bud.
Really rough. recap on the survivors. We do see all of our offering sets. So we've already talked about how our killers and survivors can earn some points. Why don't we talk about what is and is not allowed in Vigo's court?
Let's talk about it for sure. So guys, for sure, builds and bans, all of that good stuff within Vigo's court. We can have yellow items and add-ons. We can have one of each perk for the survivors, except for BT. You can have 2 of those. But then we do have this list of banned perks that include Built to Last, Prove Thyself, Starstruck, Haunted Ground, Lethal Pursuer, All the Boons, and Clairvoyance. So definitely the killer uses are limited to once in the playoffs before the finals, and we got to go into the match right now.
For more on those rules, if you guys want to know what else is allowed in our game, go ahead and type !rules in the chat. And you know what? You did call it a little bit, maybe a game late, but we are going to see Wash coming out with a pyramid head here.
You know,
interesting.
Technically, I know I'm getting on a technicality here, but I said that I think that they would mirror match Plague for Plague, and then I said that Pyramid Head would be another good pick. I think I just picked all of 6's lineup. I'm sorry if I spoiled something, 6, but yeah, there's that.
Coming in strong, and we do see kind of that scenario you're talking about. Washed going ahead and forcing the M2 there. Ooh, playing very patiently, not throwing out the window. So that will be a super early down. This is, of course, under a pallet, so there is a chance for somebody coming for the save. But if they don't get it, and they don't, that is going to be a basement hook. 5 gens up, Corrupt still very fresh. That is huge pressure for Washed here.
You know, and this is exactly what I was talking about, right? Like, you go ahead and you stop, you block whatever vault or whatever drop, and then you just pull that knife up, and the survivor gets to go, oh, shit. Okay. And that's exactly what we saw from Osaka.
This is a crazy good start for Washed here. Honestly, I wouldn't blame him if he wanted to go ahead and confirm that second state here. Of course, our corrupt intervention is going to be up for just a little while longer, but I mean, again, this is a really good start for Washed here.
I feel like I would proxy a little bit more here. You saw Adam. I don't agree with staying necessarily just right in here and not going anywhere else, but you know, like,
I mean, we have a lot of our barbed wire, our torment down. So you don't really need to babysit this so tightly, but I mean, Wash does have a little bit of the time. We will see our first generator popping there as we watch Osaka progress to second stage. And was it Osaka who had a thing for being in the basement?
Yes, it was. Yep. And so, okay. Yeah, it happened again. It happened again. Osaka said that not going to play Plague anymore. Osaka kept getting put in the basement. And now we saw Osaka play Plague and get put in the basement. This sounds like the same narrative that we've seen from Osaka. I'm sorry, buddy.
We love consistency. Maybe not in this sense, but
no, we still love the consistency.
Very interesting to watch Washed kind of guard this so carefully. I guess at this point, I mean, what's the sense in leaving? Osaka is already very close to death. We are going to see an attempt from Dark to go ahead and ooh, the firecracker blind, very nice. We'll go ahead and get Osaka unhooked right before he can progress all the way to death, but that will result in both survivors being injured. Of course, Dark, I don't think minds going ahead and taking the down. Interesting to see Washed go ahead and cage here. I suppose, though, he doesn't have to pick up and hook, so he is free to go ahead and chase Osaka, knowing that Osaka is on death hook at 3 generators.
That was also a super smart play. I was wondering if he was going to do that, and oh my gosh, big brain. You want to know why that's big brain? No Deliverance. If Deliverance went to the basement to try to go ahead and go, I don't care if I go down, and I'm sorry, but if you're injured and you're sitting in the door, you're telling me you have Deliverance. And so, yeah, I'm just going to cage you.
And that's one of the mechanics that makes Pyramid Head so strong, is that denial of off the hook perks that we get for our survivor side. So, and of course, picking up Chase with Osaka here, finding him very quickly, going ahead and trying to complete this tunnel out, and if he can time this properly, ooh, nice patience from Osaka to not go straight to that pallet there, which could have been really ugly for him. And of course, off in the distance, we do see our deadlock popping not once but twice as we see two generators go on top of each other.
Yeah, and that's definitely. Oh, this is Final Judgment.
Well,
I forgot. Oh
chop.
man,
That is the big chop there.
that's pretty big as well. But for sure, we will see there are two deadlock gens here. So of course, we're gonna go ahead and try to. Oh wow, that is really going.
That is a ton of progress on this generator. Gonna go ahead and try to knock that down, but it is a dry kick. So if someone is nearby and somebody is, ooh, unfortunately, not quite able to get that hit.
Not quite indeed, but you know, these gens aren't the furthest away, so I mean, if we don't get just stuck in chase somewhere, then it could be pretty interesting to see if we can pressure these three gens. Never mind. Caster's
Nice.
Curse.
Caster's Curse, nice patience for Wash, not quite throwing immediately into that pallet. So we will see the injured stay down on Shrimp, and that will be no adrenaline for him, as well as... Oof. I was gonna say, we see our good old friend, no one escapes death on the side there, so you would imagine that Wash wouldn't really want to give away that that's up, but now our survivors also know that that is on the table here.
Yeah, but we also know there's a survivor that was somewhere over here. And, oh, there he is. It's an Adam. That's tough.
And Adam has been hooked once before, so...
Oh, our survivors were on the opposite side of the map, though, which what that tells you is nobody's over here next to your Noed. Nobody's over here to try to save Adam from this cruel, cruel fate of getting hit with this giant knife. So you're feeling really good right now if you're a Pyramid Head.
Fortunate. Dark will miss that window vault and will go ahead and be picked up by Wash here. And we're rather far away from where our doors are and also right next to our Noed, so... I don't know if it would be the smartest move to come in and try to contest this at all. I think we are going to see DeathWish just go ahead and take the two out here. Yep, there they go. Again, right next to Noed. Dark was already on second hook. DeathWish going ahead and taking the safe option here, but not a bad game for Pyramid Head.
Definitely not, but it does look like if that score is correct that I'm seeing right now, we're seeing 39 to 50, 11 points. That's it. I mean, it definitely would be the biggest comeback I think we would have seen from any of the games in one match, like to actually clinch it. But you know what? If anybody could do it on the survivor side, I think it's 6.
I think so as well. This has been very back and forth, the kind of exciting gameplay we love to see. I know quite a few people were complaining about Wash going ahead and camping those first gens. However, you know, that's kind of just how comp works sometimes, and it worked out to Wash's benefit. That was actually a tied trial there, so we don't see a change in our points. And this is 6 moving into their survivor trial. The lead is not so insurmountable for them here.
You're right, and I mean, again, I'm gonna go back to the fact that I don't think we've seen anybody come back from 11 points down. The closest we saw was somebody tied up the game when they were down to, I think it was a 9-point difference between two teams, and they ended up driving it to sudden death, and that was crazy by itself. Do we go ahead and in the playoffs, higher stakes, see it just one-upped here?
I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. I don't think going into a sudden death match would be ideal, especially for 6, knowing that they're a little bit weaker on the killer side. I think they're really going to want to make a stand here and try to wrangle a win out of this final survivor trial, especially knowing that their survivors are probably their strongest bet right now.
I mean, the
But
awesome thing
I
about
would be
sudden
surprised.
death, though, would be that you would get to play killer one more time and survivor one more time. Now, what would suck about it would be that you already know the killers that are being brought for sudden death. It has to be one of the 2 killers you brought. So, obviously, we know both of them brought Plague and did as Plague. But, I mean, that Pyramid Head was kind of good. Still only finished with a 2K, but that Pyramid Head was kind of good.
And we still haven't seen what DeathWish, what Osaka is going to bring out here on our final killer trial for them. So it's gonna be very interesting to see what happens. If we do go to a sudden death, knowing that that is on the table here, how DeathWish responds. And if they bring just the better choice here, it could be rather disastrous for 6.
Yeah, I think that Osaka, especially if Osaka's listening to us right now, where we were just talking about how like the killers were performing and how the Plague matches were meh. I think that Osaka might be going, oh, okay, that's okay. No, don't worry about it. I got you. And yes, I did get put in the basement, but it's okay. I got you. Yeah, I also got the big knife in my back, but it's okay. I got you. This is the comeback right here. Don't call it a comeback.
Osaka's redemption arc from the basement and the final judgment from last game is on the horizon. Let's see what he can do with it. I mean, Osaka's a very talented killer, so it'll be an exciting game either way to see him go against such a talented survivor squad, such as the one we see on 6. Again, it's only an 11-point lead, and I know you said before we haven't seen really anyone come back from this kind of deficit, but this is playoffs, and I think if we're gonna see it, now is the time.
Honestly, part of the reason why I love playoffs is because it's so much higher stakes, and that's where you see like teams will just pull out all the stops and be like, no, we are making this happen right now. And so I wouldn't be surprised if 6 comes out and it's just all out ready to go. I'd be a fan. I'm waiting. Show me it, guys. Show me.
So, knowing that they really just need to hold their 11-point lead here, what do you think DeathWish brings out? Also knowing that whatever they use here, they will not have access to going into the semifinals tomorrow.
I said they run PP head back.
Yeah, I mean, that's honestly not a bad option here. That will preserve some of the higher tier killers.
Yeah.
I think that seems like a very good bet. I mean, I guess if I don't know if 11 points is something so much to worry about that they would bring out anything stronger than that.
Exactly. And that's the way I feel about it as well. Like, I think with 11 points, you're not going to bring a trickster or something like that. But you're not going to bring, I mean, do you think they'd bring a twins maybe? Or maybe try to save executioner, but
I don't know why you would save. I don't know why you would use twins to save executioner in this scenario.
Maybe they bring a demo.
Especially seeing how hard twins has struggled in comp recently. I don't think that's a safe bet. Demo, maybe. There's not too many resources. You can get them out of the way quickly with the shred, but
And you can use that Lepros Lichen.
Yeah, you do get a ton of information. I mean, I think information is going to be really important. It always is. Like, you know, one of the big parts of playing killer is information. So that is a really easy way to get it. Information. You gotta
really? That's important?
Killers gotta be knowers.
Yeah, I definitely think that it is going to be interesting to see who they bring for sure. But I'm seeing Aradori or like over here saying, hey, DeathWish only needs 1 kill assuming all gems pop. I mean, I think that's pretty true. They do only need 1 kill, so it's going to be even harder for 6, knowing that DeathWish really just has to prevent a 4-out.
These stakes are definitely high. The kind of tension we like to see, honestly. Shout out to both of these teams for giving us really good matches so far and making this a very exciting wild card match to watch. They've both done an incredible job, honestly. I'm sure this is a lot of pressure too, you know. They both want to make it through here to our semifinals tomorrow. So it's a lot of pressure.
I mean, yeah, and the semifinals are gonna be fun. I mean, hey, wait, does everybody else know that like for the semifinals and finals, aren't we having 3 casters?
You know, I don't think we've talked about it before, but actually, yes. So guys, tomorrow for our semifinals, as well as for our finals, you don't get to see just Vader. You don't get to see just Q. You don't get to see just me, but it will be the terrible 3. It'll be all 3 of us.
Wait, like on all the screens?
Yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're all going to be screaming a lot, I'm very sure, but it's going to be very exciting
Oh,
to make
screens.
sure you guys...
I was talking about screens, but I mean, I could scream too, like if you want me to.
It's all of the above.
Oh, okay.
Definitely going to be a first for us here at Vigo Court. It's going to be very exciting. We are all excited to get to work together and be on the desk, all 3 of us together at the same time for the first time. So lots of exciting stuff. Of course, you guys are going to be here to watch our teams play. But if you love your casters as well, that will be the time to see all 3 of our main line casters in one place at the same time.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. I am excited. I think it's gonna be pretty fun. I also think you're gonna have me and Q with the dad jokes up there, Shep. Like, are you ready for all that? Oh, I'm already getting the look, guys.
I didn't even think about that, and I think you guys are going to actually see me die on screen, but it'll be worth it, I think.
So you know, Shep, the funny thing was that like you were looking like right at me, like just like I could feel the daggers like on the side of my head. I was like, oh no, oh no.
I'll suffer in silence. It does look like our teams are ready for you to slide on over into that spectator spot and get this 4th trial underway. So they are just as eager as I think we are.
Yeah,
I'm also gonna speak myself for the rest of this conversation.
Gonna what?
Nothing.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know, I definitely think you should join in. You should join in on all the dad jokes. I want to hear some Shep dad jokes. You got me beat there. I mean, that's true. That's true. But hey,
for obvious reasons,
you can do
I'm
it.
Not a dad, I think even. So.
On that note, let's review some penalty rules. All right.
Let's talk about it.
All right, so guys, matches with penalties may be played out, may be restarted. Sometimes both. There are instances where that happens, but 2 of the same survivor, that would banned perk or item or add-on, that would result in -5 points with a possible restart. If you do bring us to the wrong map, it would be -5 points and an auto restart. Definitely don't ever do any of these things on this list because that will be -10 points. And I've got a match to take you to, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut to it right now. Exclamation point rules in the chat if you want to know more. We've got a pyramid head.
You did call it. We are going to see a pyramid head for pyramid head. Osaka coming out with the big knife. And we did see a survivor up on that generator, but it looks like we are going to go in favor of easier prey over in this corner tile. Again, I'm sure Osaka is looking for revenge for that basement hook earlier.
Yeah, I think so, but we're going ahead and did we get an early down here? Oh, we actually didn't drag our spaghetti through, but that's good because we just our survivor W gamed away from Caltree, didn't they?
They absolutely just W gamed the hell out of that area. But that is going to allow us to transfer to another survivor, get another injured state down, and kind of take this chase down into this bottom part of the map.
Oh my
Oh
lord!
my god! The prediction shot from Osaka going ahead and downing Joy King here. That's really nasty.
Excuse me while I go pick up my jaw off the floor. That was amazing.
Oh my god, that
To
was
even know the
definitely
distance.
something.
Because like Joy King tried to outdistance the punishment, right? Joy King's like, oh, I have enough room to get away from this. No, you don't, sir. No, because Osaka knows that hitbox better than you, my friend.
Unfortunate miscalculation and a really beautiful prediction from Osaka. We will, of course, see our first generator pop 4-6 here, but it doesn't look like Osaka is too interested in leaving this area. I would maybe want to see him use more of his Trail of Torment here. There we are.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing kind of the camp kind of happening here, and you know, I mean, it makes sense. You know your win condition. You can't let anybody escape. You don't necessarily you don't want them to come get this save right now. But if you are 6, why don't we see anybody at this point? Like you can't let this person die on hook. You're gonna let him go to second, but that's just gonna make it that much easier for the death to happen.
I mean, this is a ton of time for 6 to go ahead and get some gen pressure down. Of course, Osaka's only going to confirm that second state before wandering off to find his next victim. And we do see a couple of birds over here, so he's going to find someone rather quickly. This will be the time for them to go ahead and get Joy King off of that hook, knowing that they can't really afford to lose somebody, especially this early in the game.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna be interesting to see. But with Joy King still hanging, nobody even going to get Joy King, it's gonna make it quite difficult for them.
Joy King's been there for quite a bit, and there we see the unhook now. Wondering if that was maybe a little bit of kinship there to try and buy everyone some time to get back on those generators and try to get some progress knocked out. We have, of course, only seen one pop at this time, so... And Caster's Curse, of course, there goes our second one. We are going to see Rizu do a little bit better job of reading that throw there. Oh my goodness, and the prediction shots are just beautiful here. That will be Rizu going down, and even an injured state put down on Coolio.
Oh my goodness.
So a ton of pressure for Osaka right now.
Now you want to go ahead and keep chasing Coolio, because if Coolio gets that save on the caged survivor, then they're no longer tormented. So that's where I would think you would want to go, but it looks like that's not where we're going. We saw a survivor run over here, wondering if Osaka's going to keep up pressure. No, leaving again. Maybe trying to find the caged survivor?
Potentially, although you know...
Oh, I think we found him. There's a cage. It's behind us. We're guarding it now.
Does look like Osaka's going to take the time to check out what's going on around him. Of course, there's really only this one generator back here. So I'm not going to imagine that there are going to be too many people in this area, but really all Osaka needs to do is confirm a death here. So camping this cage out, even if somebody comes in and is able to get the unhook, the lovely thing about these cages is that there are no perks activated at the uncaging. So no borrowed time, no DS. Even if someone were to come and get that cage, now that Osaka knows where it is, he can just immediately go back and respawn and complete the tunnel out there.
Oh my goodness. Bear thought that he was going to drop the spaghetti, but no pasta here, and that's gonna cost you.
My goodness. I really was worried there for Bear for a second, but Bear's able to dodge that. Ooh, unfortunately. Unable to dodge the first shot, unable to dodge the second. That animation lock coming in a clutch for Osaka there. We will see 6 go ahead and finish that last generator, but that is a nice juicy no-ed popping up on the side there, and I wouldn't be surprised. Oh, I guess I would be surprised.
I think this is smart. Take him as far away from the gate as you possibly can. That is No Way Out getting procced right there. That is 2 charges of No Way Out. Now, you may be asking yourself, why only 2? Well, because cages don't count for No Way Out. A cage is not a hook. There goes Noed, though, exiting the game before getting any use.
We do find an injured survivor over in this area here, so we are going to see Joy King trying to take some protection, at least try to slow Osaka down, but Joy is also on death hook, so maybe not the safest bet right now.
Oh man, this is crazy. I'm pretty sure the game is already decided at this point, but this is crazy. They actually have a chance to get a 4 out.
Unfortunately, this door didn't get quite worked on enough. We do have a down survivor here. Cageable, but it doesn't look like Osaka's going to go for that option. Instead, we're going to go ahead and...
We're going to let him wiggle free?
Let him wiggle? Interesting. I guess not seeing maybe the hook that was right next to our door. That will be taking the fresh hook on Coolio. So again, we're seeing our teams kind of try to mitigate the hook spread here. And knowing that no one escapes death is off the table now, I wouldn't be surprised to see a reset and maybe an attempt to get Coolio and still manage the 4 out here, even if the game is already decided. It would kind of be bragging rights at this point.
Yeah, it definitely could be. We don't see Coolio trying to hop off the hook either, which makes me think Coolio's not Deliverance. I wonder who was.
The others to come in for him, because with that Deliverance, I mean, not only does he not get the benefit of BT, but also he could just be caged straight off the hook at this point, so there would be none of the benefit of borrowed time to get him out of that cage there. And that animation lock.
Pyramid Head!
Oh, this is so messy! Oh no!
Oh my god! Dude! This is crazy.
Rizu. Ooh, nice pause on there. But with a disconnect from Rizu, we are going to see... Oh my god. The pallet grab.
Goodness gracious.
I don't know what just happened in the past 5 minutes. Joy King is dipping out of the area, which will leave Coolio and Bear left in the trial. We will see the disconnect, of course. At this point, I think you were right. The game was already decided. But that will be full points awarded to Osaka for those DCs.
Good lord. Pyramid Head came in at the end and said, wait, you chose to stay? Then you choose death.
Hold my fucking beer. I guess.
DeathWish granting death wishes out here, okay? I'm also hearing I'm hearing from our refs that actually when I was saying that I'm pretty sure the game was over, it wasn't over. It was actually still winnable. Like if they went ahead and had scored at the maximum amount of points, it would have been 13, and there was only a 12 points difference.
I don't know if at that point they would have been able to.
I mean, they took a hook state like shortly after I said it, so
yeah, I don't know if at that point it was numerically it was still winnable. I don't know if that was the most feasible, but I don't know. Yeah. It's very, very difficult to say. Of course, we had that hook so close to our one door, and the other door was all the way across on the other side of the map. Even if they'd been able to get everyone off the hook, and going towards that finished gate, I don't know if they would have gotten everyone out at that point. So that's a really tough, I mean, of course we'll never know at this point, but that's a really tough scenario to be in.
Oh, for sure. It's been kind of crazy, but we've seen two teams come in that have like close to 500 record, and what I mean by 500 is like equal number of wins to losses, and they've knocked off like the top teams. Like, here, let's think about this for a second. The two top teams from our qualifiers, right? Arctic Wolves 6, they're both out in the wild card.
Yep, I definitely think that you really can't make any safe bets in these. I mean, there really were no safe bets in these playoffs. You know, these teams really fought to be here. DeathWish again came in with a not great record and totally completely turned it around for themselves. So I don't think it's unreasonable or even rather surprising that this was our final outcome.
I mean,
of course, you know, we did have our two nearly undefeated teams who had only seen one loss over the course of a 12-week season, but everybody's here for a reason.
Yeah, for sure. This has been very good, and I will say we have Dark actually in our interrogation room right now. Dark, how you doing?
Not too bad, you?
Doing well. That was a pleasure to watch for sure. You guys came through with the mirror matches as well. That's a lot of fun to see when you guys choose to bring the mirror match, you know?
Yeah, we talked to the other team about it and they were down, so it was a lot of fun.
Oh, so this was predetermined. This was, hey, we'll bring if you bring. So, Shep, maybe that's why we saw Plague not do as well, because did you guys, Dark, did you guys know, like, days in advance that you guys were going to be bringing Plague and Pyramid Head? No?
It was just before the games that our killer asked their killer if they were down to do that. And that's what happened.
So, did you, if it was just before the games, did you guys switch your perk loadouts because you knew what was coming? Like, did you try to counter the killers at all with them?
We changed a few perks around, but for the most part, it was just what we normally run for most killers. There wasn't much changing.
Okay. Yeah, so for sure that does shed a little bit of light on like maybe why we saw the Plague games go the way that they did, and then you guys definitely versus the Pyramid Head. It seemed like you guys had a little bit more trouble versus Washed.
Yeah. Well, Wash is a very strong killer for most of his killers, and we had a really rough early game. Osaka managed to have a really, really good chase that just brought it. So.
Yeah, definitely Osaka going into the basement again. Seems like it's been a little bit of a recurring theme for DeathWish, actually.
Yeah, it happens pretty often.
Oh, man. Is that just a running joke on the team at this point? Just like, Osaka's getting put in basement again. Well, nothing new there.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, man. Well, definitely, I think Osaka did well to go ahead and return with the Pyramid Head and kind of try to redeem, right?
Yeah, Osaka did really well in Pyramid Head. He doesn't play much Pyramid Head either, so it was nice to see him do good.
I mean, we've seen very strong performances from Osaka throughout the entire season, so not entirely surprised that he was able to come out and do what he did today, but knowing that you guys have made it over this first hurdle, are you looking forward to your match with, I believe, Monarchy tomorrow?
Yeah, that's really exciting. We get our rematch against them since we lost to them, I think, 2 weeks ago in the normal playoff season, so...
What's funny is actually when you guys were getting to go to playoffs, and I had, I forget who was in the interrogation room that I asked, it actually might have been you, Dark. I had asked, what teams do you want to see in the playoffs? Who are you most excited to see? And your guys' answer was, we want to see 6 and we want to see Monarchy. And it's like, well, that's your road to the finals. So you're going to see them both. And for sure, you have gone ahead. You've seen 6. You have seen them out of the playoffs now. So for sure, it's time now to get ready for Monarchy. And you don't have long. We're talking tomorrow.
Yeah. We're excited for that game. Get our rematch. Hope that we come out on top this time.
For sure. If you do come out on top, you will be facing either Demise or Demise. Yes, that was just a small difference in pronunciation, but that's actually 2 different teams. So, for sure, which team are you more afraid of? Or, like, maybe not afraid of, but, like, which team do you have to prepare more for?
Between Demise and Demise, or Monarchy and
Demise and Demise.
Well, as far as I know, Demise is like Demise. They're like a family team.
Mm-hmm.
They share players, so it's pretty much going against. I don't know. Either team could be tough. I don't know which team would be scarier. Maybe Demise, but either way, it's going to be a challenge.
That's fair. That's fair. I will be excited to see how far you guys can go. For sure. I think it's going to be very, very exciting, very fun. You guys have not disappointed us in any of the matches you guys have played. And coming into the league with you didn't inherit the best record at all by any means. In fact, when you guys joined the league, it was kind of, hey, you're joining and you don't really have a road to the playoffs, but welcome into the league, right?
All of us wrong. However, I will give you guys credit where credit is due. You guys definitely proved us wrong there.
Yeah, it was. I think we came in with a 3-loss 2-win streak, so it was a bit tough to walk into, but everything worked out. So
yeah, for sure. You guys have done quite well since joining the league, and that's why you're here. That's why you're where you are at right now. So for sure, I'm ready to see you guys do more. Definitely. Do you have anything that you want to say to your opponents or to the fans of Vigo's Court?
Nothing really. GG's to 6. It was really nice to play against them. We've gone against Wash quite a few times, and he's a really strong killer. So it was nice to go against him in Attorney for our finally.
Yeah, definitely. It was fun to watch you guys for sure. Shep, you got any final thoughts?
Congratulations on your guys' win today, and I'm very excited to see what you guys do tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you. See you guys tomorrow.
All right, see you then. And for everybody else here, we will be getting started at, what is it? Are we starting at 1 Eastern tomorrow or 3 Eastern, Shep?
I hope it's not 1 Eastern. I'll cry.
I thought it was 3 Eastern, but
3 Eastern.
It's 3 Eastern. All right. So, guys, we will be back here tomorrow, 3 Eastern. I'm glad I got that so that I can get my sleep schedule right. 3 Eastern tomorrow. I'll be waiting to see all of you, all those cuties out in chat. I want to see all your beautiful faces out there. 3 Eastern. Yeah, and that'll be all 3 of us, right?
So yes, all 3. Oh, actually, not all 3 of us. Not tomorrow at 3 Eastern. So you guys, tomorrow, of course, is going to be our semifinals match. So you will see Monarchy versus DeathWish, Demise versus Demise. However, we are planning some really exciting things for next season. If you guys haven't already heard us talk a little bit about it, we will be doing an exhibition stream tomorrow at 3 to get our day started. So make sure you guys come by and see kind of the exhibition for what we're planning for next season. It's going to be really fun and exciting. We are going to see it is going to be a play stream match, but it's going to go a little bit differently than how we did our last ones throughout the season. So make sure you guys come on out, get excited for the rest of our semifinals, and start your day with a good fun match at 3 p.m. EST, and then our games will be at 6 and 9, which is where you will see all 3 of us. However, you won't see all 3 of us for the 3 p.m. game because I will not be available.
That makes sense. You got to get some sleep, you know, that way you can be like all here for the 6 and 9, right? No?
No.
Oh wait. No, I forgot. You're playing. That's right. Yeah. That thing.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so yeah, be here at 3 Eastern, but that's all from us. We do see DeathWish convicted of murder, and court's gonna be adjourned right here.
See you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, make good choices, and be here for our semifinals. They're gonna be exciting. Yes.
Court's adjourned.
Bye guys, love you. Mwah.